that championship year in Milwaukee kind of changed my, entire career is, slowly progressing each year. And, I'm starting on what was the championship team, and confidence is all-time high, and you kind of are feeling yourself, and then boom, you get hurt and you just get knocked all the way down. I go from getting hurt to, they get different guys in my position, they trade for a few guys, and then all of a sudden, like, you don't get the extension and you get traded. It's like, wait, hold on, reset. And that's why I went to Golden State. I took that year to kind of rebalance and, revive what I thought I could be. And I don't think I could have went to a better place to do that. Playing with those dudes just completely changed my mindset of basketball.
What is it about Golden State? Because you're a recent example of it, but they have a handful of guys who've gone there, had great years, gone on, signed longer deals, extended their careers, whatever it is. What is it about culture or whatever, the organization, Steph, that really stuck out to you in the whatever 10 months that you spent there?
I don't think there's like this secret recipe they're doing, but like just the style of play they have is makes a lot of guys successful. I mean, not to differ from, Golden State, but like Miami, you guys see what you guys do. You see a lot of guys come in undrafted or two ways, and next thing you know, they're signing long-term deals, and, you build within, and that's amazing. I think there's certain organizations that you can just go to and play a certain style that make guys look really good. And I think Golden State's that. Like, if you can flourish in that kind of chaos of what they do, I got so many open looks that I never thought I would get. And then you play with certain guys like Draymond you'll think I'm not open, and Draymond will put it right on the money. So you just had to go in and say, all right, cool, let me just run around and play defense, and on offense, just literally just run around that crazy and shoot the ball. And you look really good doing it.
As a shooter, what'd you learn from Steph?
His approach. Just the way he came, ready to work every single day, and the amount of shots he took and detail. And there was never a day off for that guy. You would think he's day off, but he's somewhere else working or doing something on his body. Or like I said, that year really changed everything about how I approach practice.
Yeah, people talk a lot about, obviously in Miami specifically, like culture, and Golden State, I think, is another team that, when people think about having good culture and stability, they think about Golden State. The more I've been around the league, the more I've found that really culture is just an extension of who your best player is, or players, right? Like, the best players are dictating the day-to-day, how people handle their business. If your best players aren't taking days off, if your best players are super locked into a regimen or routine, if you're a role player, if you're not playing, how can you show up and not be locked into that same extent, or even more so? So I have so much respect for that organization. And then Steph, obviously, specifically, is the greatest shooter ever to play the game, but also just the longevity and how he's done it. And he seems over himself. Like, it's not really about him, even though he's completely changed the way we all think about and play basketball. So I just got to imagine, like, being around that every day. Just, obviously you take things and you visibly see things, but just like osmosis of like the way he works and little habits and just things you pick up probably like automatically.
Well, like, also to your point about the best player, but it's also like the accountability of a lot of guys that within these organizations either played there or have been around that coach in years prior. And you go to, like, when Golden State, like Sean Livingston was out there. Like, he was, in the front office at the time, but like he was a huge voice for a lot of us. And you had Andre Iguodala, like, Andre was still playing, but Andre's old ass was still, he was a coach at that point.
Chilling, doing his thing.
But like,
Dre's a legend though.
He's a legend. He was the voice. Like, and like, you go to Miami, you have guys that, were played, that are on the coaching staff, that hold everybody accountable. And they hold even the best players accountable. So when you see that and they're like, hold on, Steph's getting, cussed at and cursed at and coached a certain way. Like, who am I to think that I should have an attitude the way, if they say something to me?